Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 46 of our Golang course. In this lesson, I will introduce you to embedding in Go, which is used for reusing code. So let's dive in. We touched on this in the previous lesson that Go is an object-oriented language, but unlike other modern object-oriented languages, it does not implement inheritance. Instead of using inheritance, it uses the concept of composition and promotion to promote code reuse, which we are going to look at in this lesson. Composition involves building complex objects using smaller objects, while promotion refers to promoting fields and methods from the embedded type to the containing struct. What exactly is embedding? Embedding is a technique where another type is included inside a structure. To embed a struct, you simply need to write the name of the type you wish to embed inside your structure. When you do this, you are essentially creating an outer structure that is composed of the embedded type. The fields and the methods of the embedded type are then promoted to your outer containing structure and can be accessed directly via your own structure or the containing structure. Please note, if the same fields or methods exist on the embedded type and the containing structure, we need to explicitly access the fields or methods. That is, by specifying which type we want to access the field or method on. Let's look at some code now. Here, first I'm going to create an engine type, which is a struct with field horsepower. This structure represents an engine of a car. Now, let's create a car structure. The first field in our car structure is model, which is of type string. Let us embed engine type inside the car structure. So, as you remember, we just need to add the name of the type. There you go. This is called embedding of another type inside our structure. So, we are embedding engine type inside our car structure. Let's create instances of car inside our main program. First, I have initialized the model field. Next, I am going to initialize the engine embedded type, engine, and then specify the horsepower of the engine, which we can say is 200. Now, as I told you, the fields of the embedded type will be promoted to car, so you can access them directly. I'm going to print the horsepower and model of the car. As you can see, we were able to access the model and the horsepower field on the car instance itself due to embedding, since Go has promoted horsepower from embedded engine to car. So if we run our program now, you will see it's working as expected. As you can see, car model and horsepower are both printed. Now let's create some methods on these structures. First, I'm going to create a start method on the engine type. Here, I have created a start method on the engine type using a pointer receiver. Next, let us create a method on the car structure. So now, both our engine struct and the car struct have a method of their own. Since we are embedding engine inside the car, we can access both the fields and the methods of engine. So I'm just going to remove that and call both the methods. You can see we were able to call start on my car and drive on my car. Now let us run a program to see if it works. As expected, it's working. We were able to call the start method, which we defined on engine through embedding. If you remember, one thing I mentioned in the slide was that if you have same fields on the embedded and the containing structure, you need to specify the type you are accessing because the compiler doesn't know which type you are accessing the field on. So if I say model string and then inside here, if I do fmt println mycar.model and then try to run our program, you will see it's picking up the model from the mycar instance. But instead, if I want to print the model of the engine, I need to specify that specifically. So we can say it has a Mazda engine. Then here we can do mycar engine.model. This way, we can access the model of the engine by explicitly specifying that we want the model on the engine. Running our program, as you can see, Mazda is printed to the console. Another thing I wanted to show you was that you can embed multiple types inside a structure. So to do that, I am going to create another struct called GPS and then embed GPS and engine inside car. To make it shorter, I have removed the methods we defined earlier on engine and car. But as you can see here, we added a new GPS structure with model. Now, the car structure has model, engine, which is embedded field, and GPS, which is the embedded field too. Then to access our fields, we do mycar.model, mycar.horsepower, and then GPS model, mycar.model. Let's run our program to see what happens. As you can see, it's still printing the model from the car, because when there's a name clash between fields or method, we need to specifically specify the type that we want to access the field on. So I'm just going to modify it and say GPS. Now let's run our program to see the output. And as you can see, we now have the correct output printed to the console. So basically, you can embed as many types inside a structure as you want. And another thing to note is that when there's a conflict of names of fields or methods, then you need to specifically specify which type you want to access the field on, because Go compiler cannot make out on which type you are trying to access the field. There might be a question about whether embedding implies inheritance. The answer is no. Even though Go promotes embedded fields and methods to the structure that embedded, the two types are still different and cannot be used interchangeably. Embedding is useful when you want to fulfill an interface. As mentioned, when you embed a type, Go promotes the field and methods to the fields and method set of the struct that embeds it. And this helps us satisfy an interface. We will cover interfaces in the next lesson. Here, I have a small example of what happens to the method set of struct embedding another type. A is a struct with method details and size, while B is a struct with method report. When we embed B inside A, the method set of A is expanded to include detail, size, and report in the method set. This way, even though we are embedding type B, the report method is promoted from B to A and then resides in the method set of A. The method set of B still remains the same and only has method report. This will be useful when we study interfaces. Now let's summarize what we have learned in this lesson. Go promotes code reuse with help of composition and promotion. We saw that this can be done by embedding another type inside a structure. Please note, embedding is not an inheritance and works differently, as the types are still two different types and cannot be used interchangeably. That's it for the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. I would be happy to help you. Please post a comment under the video or reach out to our Discord server. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy coding.